Hello and welcome back to the Dragon's Lair. This is Let's Talk Warhammer 40k, where I talk about Warhammer 40k. This is part of the Tyranids section that I'm doing. I'm going to do one for Imperial Guard, I'm going to do one for Necrons, and maybe some other armies I might be collecting sometime soon. Anyways, so we're in the elite selection right now. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok as the space dragons space liar or the underscore dragons underscore liar. Let's get into it because these videos are a little bit shorter. Warriors are where I start to get a little because there's some good things and there's some okay things. So let's talk about stat line. I'm not excited about their movement of 6. It's going to become 7 with adrenal glands. It gets a little bit better. They have a hard time keeping up, in my opinion. There's some things that we can do. Weapon skill 8, ballistic skill 3, ballistic skill 3. Those are okay. Those are pretty good. Strength 5, tough 5, not bad. Wound 3 is okay per model. 3 attacks is okay. Leadership doesn't matter. Save, trash. That's just my opinion. So I don't have the time to go into the ins and outs of every particular choice here, so I'm just going to show you what I take, and it does work out pretty good for me. When I go talking about weapons, I'm a fan of the Death Spitter. 24 inches, assault 3, strength 5, AP 2-1. It allows you to advance and shoot. Sure, you're going to be at ballistic skill 4. Strength 5 is pretty good. You spec everything to fight Marines. AP 2, pretty good. We no longer have the Armor of Contempt to worry about. It's only damage 1. I use the Death Spitters to do chip shots on the way in. I don't put a Venom Cannon in there because the Venom Cannon, to be effective, would slow down. So I'm not thinking about Venom Cannons. I've tried it. Anyways, like I said, Death Spitters are, in my opinion, are for chip shots. If you got 6 guys in a squad, you're talking about 18 shots as you're moving up. You're only going to want to shoot once before you get into melee combat. Now, because they're core and they're OBSEC, you might plant them on an objective and shoot from that objective, and that's cool. That's where tough 5 is going to help you out. 3 wounds apiece is going to help you out there. So you're a little bit flexible there. Nextly, though, in my opinion, the big shining wonderfulness of the Warriors is dual bone swords. Alright, so +2 strength would take you up to 7. With adrenal glands, you're at 8. You're at strength 8 with the troop choice. Strength 8, AP 2, good AP, 2 damage. You're killing Marines with it. And, I guess I've always forgot this, you get an extra attack when you attack with bone swords. So remember that extra attack. In my opinion, it's easy to forget. So you're going from 3 attacks apiece to 4 attacks apiece. 4 attacks apiece on 6 guys, 6, 12, 18, 24. 24 strength 8, AP 2 attacks. It's good. And we'll talk about ways to make that better. So, like I said, Death Spitter, dual bone swords. I think it's great. Dual bone swords. 6-man warriors could take on a baby knight with that. You could do actual damage to a big knight with that. I'm not saying you're going to take a knight out, but you could do damage. You could put damage in. Anyways, other war gear, I use just adrenal glands. With the new updates and the point changes, I can only afford just adrenal glands. Maybe if you've got the points, go for toxin sacks. But +1 to move, +1 to strength. It's great. It gets you in that strength 8. So don't worry about the other war gear section. Abilities, Synops. So remember, anything that you want to be in Synops has to be within 6 inches. But also synaptic link range. Synaptic link range is 12 inches. And remember, synaptic link range is that web that you make that connects everything that's on the table. So a guy over here, if he's 12 inches of another guy, who's 12 inches of another guy, that are all synops, who's 12 inches of another guy, who's 12 inches of another guy, they're all in synaptic link range. So they're great for synaptic link range. They're great for synops. If you need a squad of gaunts to be within synops, they're pretty good. Hormogaunts are faster. You're always going to have that trouble of the warrior being slow. There are stratagems to help you with that, but that's my biggest problem with warriors is they're slow. Looking at my picture over there, you can see my makeshift bone swords. I call them He-Man arms, and I'm not done painting those bone swords, of course. But that's all magnetized. You can see the magnets there. Alright, so Shadow of the Warp. Remember, Shadow of the Warp is 18 inches. If they fail psychic test, they get -1 to all psychic tests. And if they fail psychic test, they take 1 more mortal wound. Never had it really be a big thing for me, but someday it's going to put a wound on some guy. Warrior spawning, it's not a big deal. If your army is battle forged, and then for each detachment, including High Fleet, Tyranid Warriors, High Fleet, Tyranid Prime can be included in a detachment without using up a battlefield slot. I haven't really ever used the Prime. I'm going to try them out someday probably, but big things here, infantry and core. Okay, so they're infantry and they're troop, which means they have obsec, so that's good. Core is good because they can be affected by Will of the Hive Mind, so keep that in mind. So they would get to reroll 1s. So with a ballistic skill and weapon skill of 3, only really 2s would miss. Everything else would either hit or be a reroll, and that's pretty good because that increases your likelihood of success by like 25%. Math hammer. So, like I said, Venom Cannons slow them down. Bone Swords are great. Good for Synops, Core and Obsec. Good target for Will of the Hive Mind. Mine are Leviathan. I'm still running Leviathan. I haven't branched out, although I have some Gorgon ideas. So with Leviathan and the changes, it's going to have baby transhuman. It's a Synops unit that's not a monster, so they have baby transhuman, which means you need 3, 4, 5, 6 to wound them. So a strength 10 weapon still needs a 3. It's gonna come in handy. It's gonna work out. Keep in mind there's psychic imperative. So remember at the beginning of every battle round, not your turn, the battle round, you choose a psychic imperative, go to slaughter, 6s to hit, score 1 additional hit. It's handy. It's handy. For me, this is a turn 3 thing, for sure. Because by turn 3, all of my close combat elements are definitely in close combat. I struggle because I try to be in close combat in turn 2. That doesn't always work out. But keep in mind, because I'm Leviathan, I often use my feed biomorphology to swap out the Leviathan reroll on 1s to Unstoppable Swarm, which means movement, advance, and charge is not hindered by anything. It can't be adjusted. So that's a good way to get them into close combat. So remember your imperative. Some stratagems to throw in there. Adrenal Surge is pretty good. So you're getting a +1 attack per model. So then you're going up to 5 attacks per model. 5 attacks on 6 models. Yeah. With Bone Swords, yeah. You're gonna carve something up. So remember Adrenal Surge. You have to have adrenal glands to use Adrenal Surge, but I take adrenal glands in all my warriors. And then Reinforced Hive Node is a warrior or Tyranid Prime specific one. And basically, for 1 CP, they all take 1 less damage. So, like, you take 3 damage 2 attacks. Now they're all damage 1. So only 1 of those warriors is going to die instead of 2. Pretty worth it. Pretty worth it, in my opinion. That's been my rundown of warriors. I think the most important thing to remember is dual bone swords. And in my opinion, venom cannons just slow you down. We here at the Dragon's Lair understand that you are most likely a very busy person. You probably have relationships with other adults. You might have kids, you might have dogs or cats, pets, all sorts of responsibilities, job, school, maybe all that stuff wrapped in all together. The point is your time is very valuable and precious, and we want to say thank you for spending your time here with us at the Dragon's Lair.